It weighed me down. That's what it did. It weighed me down because I carried it like baggage. I carried it like luggage as I was trying to get on a plane. I carried that thing, that grudge on my shoulders like Atlas held the world on his. It weighed me down. That's what it did. And it damn near destroyed my life.
Hello, and welcome to the Front Seat Debrief. This podcast is intended to confront the unique mental health challenges that our veterans, first responders, and healthcare professionals face on a daily basis. My name is Josh Campbell. I am a social worker who provides therapy in a private practice, and my efforts are focused on these populations. I am a former Army combat medic and a former paramedic firefighter. When my struggles with PTSD became too great for me to continue working as a paramedic, I went back to school earning my BA in English from American Military University. Then I earned my master's in social work at the University of Michigan. This podcast has grown from my own experience coping with repeated exposures to traumatic incidents, my personal path to healing and understanding, as well as my educational background. I want to examine the lived experience of others in coping with trauma, their journey to find healing, and I believe that learning about someone's upbringing can often provide additional context through which greater understanding of their experiences with trauma can be achieved. It is my sincere hope that the content covered in this episode, as well as the episodes that follow, will provide listeners with a sense of not being alone in their struggles. Furthermore, I hope that by having these deeply personal discussions, we can continue to decrease the stigma surrounding mental health, normalize adverse emotional reactions to extreme circumstances, and build momentum for creating a positive culture shift within these professions. Thank you so much for choosing to listen. If you like what you hear, please like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date with our progress here. Hey, welcome back to the Front Seat Debrief. If you remember from last week, we didn't have enough time to get through all of Martinez's episode. So this week, you get the second half. I hope you enjoy the content. Be sure to give us a like, share, subscribe, leave us a review. Everything helps. Enjoy the show. Okay, I'm going through Martinez's episode right now, and I just need to drop back in real quick. We had some technical difficulties throughout the entire recording. There is a delay between what he says and when I hear it. So, yeah, my responses seem a little bit slow. But when we came back from the break, we started talking, and I didn't realize that we weren't quite recording yet. So we did miss some stuff, and then he tells me a little story, and then we kind of get into some heavier content. So just bear with me. There is one point where the recording studio kind of kicked us both out, so there's going to be a break in there. Just wanted to give you the heads up before you hit that point so that you're not too confused. Thanks for listening.
There's just, because in my district, there's 3 high schools. My buddy's at one. He's the one that told me this position open, and I've known him for 20 years. He's a retired master sergeant.
Okay.
So he just wanted to put me on to this job. So him and I together, matter of fact, he was here last night, and I'm gonna tell you about last night real quick. So one of my buddies is here at the pre-command course at Leavenworth for a brigade, because he's a brigade CSM, and we've known each other since we were staff sergeants. So he's here. One of my soldiers from when I was stationed at Fort Lewis, he flew here yesterday from Dallas on a whim because he said, "Hey, Sergeant V, I need to get with you." He was like, so he texted me yesterday morning. He goes, "Hey, my flight landed at 5:20. I said, "Okay, bet. Do you need me to pick you up?" He was like, "Yeah." So I picked him up. And then because we did Raider Challenge yesterday at the school, so we had 9 other high schools come in and do the stuff. So
Okay.
we get finished with that. My buddy was with me. That's at the other high school in the district. I said, "Hey, tonight, man, I got my homeboy here for pre-command course. I got my old soldier coming up from Dallas." I said, "You 5 minutes away." I was like, "You moms just come on over to the house, man. Let's sit down. Let's rap. Let's talk about it. Let's do our thing." And he was like, "All right, bet." So we all sit down here. And here's the good part about, and this is what people don't understand about veterans, man, is that when you get around other vets, it don't matter if you serve together or not. It's just the fact that you served. And we all on
Mhm.
the same wavelength. We can talk the talk and walk the walk, right? And
Yep.
these 3 ain't never met each other. And when I introduced them all last night out here in my basement, these mugs act like they known each other their whole fucking life. We sat
Oh, yeah.
here.
So
Oh
easy to
yeah, we
fall into
sat
that,
here
right?
and we started out talking and watching the uh, Final Four, the men's Final Four, Michigan and I guess it was Arizona that played last night, and we was drinking
I think
old
so.
fashions. And my buddy that's a CSM, he goes,
Oh, yeah.
"Man, I just pour my whiskey in a glass with ice and just drink it. I don't do all that." He goes, "But my brother drinks old fashions, but he never made me one." I said, "Well, hold on. I got you." You know, so I made him a pecan flavor old fashioned. Yeah, it was good. It hit.
Bro.
It hit. And then like I opened up my liquor cabinet and he goes, "What the fuck?" I said, "Bro, I got it. I got what you need." And so I
Yeah.
made it and gave it to him and he sipped it. He was like, "Ooh." I said, "Sip it slow. Cause if you don't, that pecan gonna sneak up on you. And your pecan gonna become toucan.
Smooth
And I'm
taste
gonna start
movie.
calling you Fruit Loop." And he was like, "You stupid." I was like, "I'm just telling you how it goes, bro. Trust me. I'm telling you right now, right?" So we go outside and we start smoking cigars and we just talking, we rapping. Mind you, my buddy that's retired is 56. I'm 46. My buddy that's a CSM, I think we about the same age. He 46. And then my old soldier, he in his 30s. And we
Mm.
all sitting there talking, man. And that young cat, he looking at us and he was like, "This is where I want to be when I get y'all age. That wisdom y'all have." He goes, "That understanding that y'all have." He goes, "Y'all just act like you ain't worried about nothing." I said, "Why? What you worried about?" "Not worried about nothing. I done my time. We done our time. We've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. Just go with it.
Mhm.
Why not?" Came back inside, and my old soldier, his TikTok, man, this dude got over 10,000 followers, man. And he's on it. When I tell you he on it, that's another reason why he came. He was like, "I need to help you get your shit put together so you can get your shit started." He goes, "Because I've watched you talk to your daughter. I've watched you in your podcast with your daughter." He goes, "You, Martinez," he goes, "you got something and you need to put it out. People need to hear it." So we're sitting there, we're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
I'm still outside smoking. And when I come back, I'm like, "What's going on?" Jacob and Jamal is on Jacob TikTok doing a live. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So then we come in here and I'm sitting in one chair, Jamal's in the other chair, and Jacob's behind the camera. He's like, and people are asking us questions. Like we can hear them ask us questions. And as they're asking
Okay.
questions, Jacob's like, "Hey man, y'all got people crying. Not like crying because they laughing at y'all, like crying at what y'all saying. Because some of these people saying they needed to hear that message that y'all have." And I said, it's easy to get lost in other people, but it's hard to find
Mhm.
yourself when you do that.
Mm. Yeah.
Sometimes, and I told this high school kid, she's in journalism. I don't know her. She's not one of my students. they were trying to take pictures. And the picture she wanted, the banner was too high. And I looked at her and she goes, "Sorry, B, can you take that picture for me? It's too high." And I said, "How about you take a step back?" And she said, "Huh?" I said, "Take a step back." And when she took a couple steps back and she goes, "Oh, I get it." And I said, "What message did you receive?" That no matter how high it is, if you take a step back, the picture gets bigger. I was like, exactly. Always take a step back and watch how the picture, not only does it get bigger, but it gets clearer. And she was like,
Mhm.
damn, he in here dropping knowledge. And I walked away.
Marty dropping some fucking
I
truth
walked away.
bombs. Yeah.
I walked away and she was like, damn. I was just me being me,
Yeah.
you know?
Sure.
So let's see.
It's funny, man, because like seriously, like
Mhm.
the job I have kind of found me as well, right? Like, um, almost 20 years of doing like pre-hospital emergency medical care, right? Like I ended up being a paramedic and a
Mhm.
firefighter, and like PTSD, man. Like I didn't know it was PTSD at the time, but that shit made it to where I could not do my job anymore.
Yeah, it happens.
And along well, that and like all the shit that it was causing at home, I had no idea.
See?
I just thought I was like some asshole who, didn't deserve to have a family, didn't deserve to have a
Yeah.
wife, couldn't stay in one job longer than a year because I was burnt
Okay.
the fuck
Now,
out.
can I make a
S-
request?
Yeah, absolutely.
I see your script, but I'm gonna raise you one.
Mm,
We'll talk about your script, what's on it. But let's be real and let's be candid. I want this to be
yeah.
legit. I love you like a brother, but you and I both know that we both got unresolved issues in life, and we need to talk
Fuck yeah,
about
we
it.
do.
This, I know it's your
Yeah,
podcast, but it shouldn't be about me. It should be about us. And what you just said,
I'm good with that.
it hit me. And I'm gonna tell you where it hit me. I did my last deployment in 2009, 2010, bro. When I left, my daughter was 1. No, she was 10 months. She was 10 months. And when I came back, she was turning 2, right? Um, we had only seen each other through Skype, and we know how big Skype was back then during that time. So we only saw each other then, and it was very, very short that we would talk to each other because of the time difference, being in Iraq and them being in Texas. Uh, so
I think I lost you, man.
yeah, I think when I said it's about to get real, Riverside was like, shut him down, shut him down, shut him down.
It's like, no.
They were like, no, shut him down.
Yeah. Fuck.
Not sure
Sorry.
how much of it you heard, but I'm gonna start over. So when I went to,
Go ahead, because last I heard was your daughter was 10 months.
okay, yeah, she was 10 months, right? So I would see her through Skype. Skype. Skype was big back then. It was the real deal, Holyfield, right?
Yeah.
So we only saw each other through Skype.
Yep.
When I came back, I wasn't in uniform because I was on a transition team. So it was a 10-man team. We were training Iraqi border patrol on the Iran-Iraq border. So changed my clothes, I think, when I got to Atlanta because we flew back separately. We all went into Baltimore, but after that, we went our separate ways after we got from there. Got to the airport in El Paso, man, and my son knew me. Son ran up to me, hugged me. Wife ran up to me and hugged me. Daughter ran up to me, hugged me, took a step back, looked at me, and screamed bloody murder. Like, I don't know who this motherfucker is, but this ain't my daddy. You know what I mean? And at that point, stuff started hitting me. And it was like, do I even deserve this family that I have? Same thing you just said. Do I deserve all this? Should I even be here right now? What's my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? That was one of the most, and I never told my wife or my daughter, traumatizing events in my life was coming back and my daughter not even recognizing who I was. It wasn't getting blown up. It was never getting shot at. It was coming home and family, your own flesh and blood, not recognizing you for who you are. And do we second guess ourselves? A lot. Sometimes more, most than others. That's just a natural reaction to life, right? I guarantee you, when you started your master's degree for social work, you second guessed yourself numerous times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Say that again.
Imposter syndrome.
It was that what? The imposter syndrome.
It's imposter syndrome.
Because
it's legit. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Because what we know we can do and what we think we can do are totally different. Thinking and doing is the struggle that a lot of people don't understand. You know you can do something, but then you don't think you can do it. Or you think you can do it, but you know you can't deep down inside, but you try anyway. It's not in trying, it's in the doing. And sometimes we don't fully understand it, right? And I tell people, there's this phrase I use, and when I say this, people look at me crazy, and then I have to elaborate. We don't like what we don't understand, and we don't understand what we don't like. And it gets people brains wondering, like, holy crap, he just said a lot with a little, right?
Yeah.
So how do you don't understand what you don't like, right? I don't like how some people act, but I don't understand why I don't like them or why I don't like their action. But then I also don't like what I don't understand, and it frustrates the shit out of me. It's like walking outside and somebody saying, the sky is pink. No, it's blue. No, it's pink. No, it's blue. Like it's an endless argument. And sometimes that argument is with yourself. It ain't with nobody else. It's with you. It's with you. Because you fighting the identity of knowing and understanding. And oftentimes we
Mm.
don't get it. But we do eventually. Once we sit down and we try to figure it out. And
But it takes
that,
work on our part to do that.
yeah, definitely. All the time. It's always, and see, that's
Yeah.
what people don't understand. I mean, see what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? Everything in life is about work. You got to put in work. It's just not going to fall in your lap. It's just not going to come. You got to work for it. You got to work towards it. You got to work to become it. And people don't understand that, man. Oh, my name is so and so, and this is my father, and I deserve all of this because of who he was. I got who he was. Who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Who are
You
you?
don't deserve shit.
What have you done to get here other than have somebody's last name?
Mhm.
Because last time I checked, blood, sweat, and tears are what got me to where I am. Hard work got me to where I am. Putting forth effort got me to where I am.
Yep.
Not sitting down, hoping and wishing, but doing and thinking and knowing is what got me here.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, that's everything. And I don't think people always recognize that.
No, no.
Even in my realm, right? Like I'm a therapist. Therapy is not something that you sit in an office and have done to you. You come to therapy because you got work to do. I'm here to guide you.
You come to work your issues out.
That's right.
And I have a student right now. She'll tell me straight up, I go to therapy, but I don't talk to the therapist. Well, why are you going? Why are you going? If you're not going to talk to the therapist, don't go. Because not only are you wasting their time, you're also wasting your time. Because that's you telling them you don't want their help. I said, they're not there to heal you. They're there to help you. They're to
Mhm.
guide you. But in order to receive that help and that guidance, you got to want it. You got to work it. And you got to win it.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, but talking to these kids, these young kids today, man, it's not a brick wall. It's a doggone cement freaking T barrier where you can't get nothing through.
Mhm.
It's like, bro, slow down for a second. Sit down and listen to me. You know, another thing I always tell them, I've been 15, 16, 17, 18. You've never been 46. You got a lot to learn. You have a lot to decide. You have a lot to take in. You got a lot to digest. It's just not going to come to you.
Yeah.
It's not going to come to you when you want it. It's going to come to you when you're ready. They don't get that. Right.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too, looking back, right? So I joined the army when I was 21. And by the time I got out and I was 25, that was when I got off my first 4 years. Kind of had this attitude like I got the world by the ass, right? Nothing could have prepared me for how much I had to learn about life from the ages of 25 till 40.
Yeah.
There's so much to be learned about life in that time. And what would our lives have been like if we had the wisdom we have now back when we signed up for the Army?
If you knew then what you know now,
Mhm.
would you have made those decisions back then? How different would your life be right now? How far forward or how far back would you be if you
Yeah.
didn't make the decisions you've made, right?
There's a fine line though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't want to second guess everything you've done, everything you've become.
Mm-mm.
You don't want to get stuck in that what if land.
Yeah. Because
Because the game of what if,
yeah, what's that old
you're gonna
saying?
lose that shit every time.
What's that old saying? If was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
Yep.
And what I want to get to people is to stop living in shoulda, coulda, woulda. Where's it gonna get you? I should have done this. I could have done that. And if I would have, I would be here or I would be there. No, you are where you are because that's where you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call it like it is.
That's why I didn't have my master's until I was 43.
You and me both. I got mine what, 24? I was 44. I'm thinking about
Yeah.
going back to get a second master's.
Oh shit. Now you're talking crazy.
I am, but I might.
What are you thinking about doing?
I'm thinking about getting it in education.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
I definitely considered it.
yeah. You know, more doors
But
are
I think I ended up,
not more, but some more doors are open.
yeah. Yeah. I definitely think I chose the right path for me though.
You did. And here's why. Because of where you came from, because of your own traumas, because of your own fears, it led you to where you are now. Because deep down inside of you, you don't want to see people go through what you went through. Because the big deal with us growing up was suppress your feelings, push it down,
Mhm.
right? But eventually, all that hurt, all that anger, all that fear, all that trauma, all that drama, it has to go somewhere. And what happened when you drink? What came out? All of that.
Nothing good. Yep.
Everything came out. And we lashed out on the people that love us. They didn't deserve that. It's not their fault that we fucked up on the inside. It ain't their fault.
Nope.
But they love us for the flaws. And they love us for who we are and where we are. But we make that mistake constantly by taking it out on other people. You know, it's not their fault.
Yeah.
You know, now we're going to talk about this. This one question you got over here. This one thing is, what was the impact of those negative experiences on your life? Brother, let me tell you something. So I told you about my father not being in my life.
Yeah.
Okay. What did I want to do? With my father not being in my life, sorry about that. I was trying to prove to him that I was better than him. I was young and dumb, and that frontal lobe wasn't fully developed. And I'm trying to prove to other people that I'm better than them. But I forgot the main ingredient, the secret sauce. It was never to prove to somebody else that you was better than them. It was always to prove to yourself that you was better. And I think we all go through that identity crisis, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we talked about that imposter syndrome, you know.
Yep.
So there's 3 things you can do in life. You can have Stockholm syndrome, where you become a victim of your environment and your generational curse or your generational whatever it may be. You can have imposter syndrome, where you say you are something that you're not, or you can rise above it all and be like the phoenix coming out of the fire. You have to decide what you want. And with my father not being in my life, I didn't want my kids to grow up the way I did. Right? So my father passed away in 2019, had a sudden heart attack in his sleep at 60 years old. I held a grudge against my father up until the day he died. I'm not going to say I never. I had the opportunity several times to air out my grudge and my grievances that I had with him. And lack of better language, Martinez was being a pussy and didn't want to tell his father how he truly felt. And it wasn't until he lay on that metal table in that mortuary where I had enough courage to talk to him and tell him how hurt I was, how bad he had damaged me, and the grudge that I had against him. By that time, man, it was too late. He couldn't hear me. He couldn't physically hear me. But I'm sure he was watching and he heard me. Right? So what I want to tell people is, no matter how you feel about a person, sometimes they don't know you feel that way, good, bad, or indifferent, and they walking around this earth with a Coke and a smile because they don't know you feel the way you feel. Talk to people. Communicate to people. But when you communicate to people, don't communicate just to talk. Communicate to connect. That's one of the things that we forget to do, is connect with other people. I can be mad at you, but we still connected. I can hate you, but we still connected. Right? So my father never knew I was holding that grudge. That man walked around here with a Coke and a smile. Or as I can say, his natural light and his cigarette. Because he knows. I held that grudge for years. And the thing to it is, you got to forgive people. And understand and realize that forgiveness isn't for the person that hurt you or did you wrong. That forgiveness is for you. Because if you don't forgive people, you can't move on. Because you holding it, right? And what happens when you holding the grudge? You got that pain right here in your chest. And you can't never get rid of it because you holding on to something for no reason. When I said what I said, when he was in that funeral home, I felt like a weight had lifted off my shoulders and my pain in my chest went away. And that was me understanding he heard every word I said and he accepted it. And it's one of the things that we got to understand, that sometimes our parents do things or done things that they were young. They didn't know no better. But we should, because we lived through it.
Yeah.
And we can't raise our kids today the way we were raised back in the 80s. It doesn't work.
No. So tell me a little bit. You carried that grudge around for 16 years after I last saw you. What did that grudge do for you in that 16 years?
What did the grudge do to me?
What did it do for you in 16 years?
It didn't do nothing for me. It weighed me down. I take that back. It did. It weighed me down. That's what it did. It weighed me down because I carried it like baggage. I carried it like luggage as I was trying to get on a plane. I carried that thing, that grudge on my shoulders like Atlas held the world on his. It weighed me down. That's what it did. And it damn near destroyed my life.
And that's just one relationship.
That's one.
That doesn't take into account any of the other trauma that you were exposed to. Doesn't take into account any of the other negative relationships you ever had.
No. It put like this. It don't even measure up. But we hold on to these things. And why? Why do we hold on to it?
I'd be real curious to know if anyone ever had a positive outcome or a positive benefit from carrying around the hurt that someone else perpetrated on them.
Think sometimes, man, that hurt drives us to do some crazy stuff. Let's take it back. Remember you were saying in Korea how you was depressed? That one night at Dragon Hill Lodge when you kept drinking that beer around that ice sculpture?
Yep.
It wasn't the beer. It was your trauma. Right? That was causing you to act out. It was a combination of the two. Because one thing my grandmother always said, man, was people tell the truth when they're angry and when they're drunk. Because that's how you what? That's how you truly feel. It just magnifies it. And it brings it out. And I watched you. And that's why I came over there. I said, oh, somebody about to go on the deep end. And we don't need that tonight.
Funny thing about Captain Kong at the time, I got a prescription from her for Zyban to quit smoking, something I didn't want to do. Because Zyban is also known as Wellbutrin.
Yes.
Which is an antidepressant that I had used in high school with good effect. So I went there and I got my little Zyban prescription and I continued to smoke a pack a day plus whatever Copenhagen I was dipping at the time.
Because you were
Just
You were a heavy smoker.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Shit, we all were, man.
Because I remember getting on your ass about it a couple of times.
Yep. I think the whole time I was in the Army, I was smoking and dipping.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's crazy. Now, we're gonna dive into these unhealthy coping mechanisms. Oh,
Yeah, man.
brother.
We all about them.
Brother. But you know what? They're only unhealthy if you can't control them.
Yeah.
Like, I like my bourbon. I like my whiskey. I like my cigars.
Mhm.
But I can control that because I've learned over time and I know better. You know, other unhealthy choices, people turn to drugs.
Yeah.
People turn to, and it's crazy. I don't get this one. People turn to porn. You know, people turn to just having unhealthy relationships with significant others, parents, friends, coworkers. It's crazy to me, man. These unhealthy coping mechanisms, they don't work. And that's why I tell people, talk to somebody. Even if they don't talk back. If that means you two in a room and you just venting, you just talking, and they ain't saying a word, it's not because they're not listening. Sometimes people don't know what to say, or they're just taking in all the information and trying to dissect it. And they'll get back with you later and tell you later, you know. And that's one of the other things, man, is trying to tell people to, find you something healthy. Read a book. Go for a walk. Go to the gym. Sometimes I find it very soothing. I sit and I sit out back or I sit here in my basement and I turn on some blues or some jazz or some old school R&B and I just sit in my thoughts and it helps. Meditation helps. Or I'll just sometimes, and my wife, she'll tell you, I go take a long drive for about an hour, 2 hours. It gives me time to reflect, to think about stuff, right? Like, man, why did I do that? How can I make it better? How can I do better? And those are some of the things that we need to understand and be able to do without medication. Don't get me wrong. Am I against medication? No. Is medication the answer? Never. Maybe to start. But then you find healthy ways and slowly wean off the medication, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, meds are a very good way to quickly stabilize like problematic brain chemistry, but they certainly are not meant to be the be all end all fix for mental health shit.
It's not. Um, when I talk to my students a lot, man, about self-destructive behaviors, right? The school I teach at, it's a lot of it's not ghetto, but you can tell that a lot of them don't have much, right? And I have a couple that have self-destructive tendencies. And I'm constantly telling them, I need you to take your hand off that self-destruct button. Because right now you pressing it all the way down and you're getting ready to press it to the floor. I'm gonna need you to take your hand off
Yeah.
of it, okay? And talking to these kids, it's therapy for me. with everything I've been through, everything I've seen, everything I've done, it's me trying to, like I did with you guys, trying to impart some type of knowledge to where if you don't get it now, eventually it'll stick. And you can be like, oh crap, Sergeant V said that. Sergeant V told me something about this or something similar to this. You know, it's crazy, man. I have a student, and I'm not mentioning names. They won't see this anyway because my students don't follow me because I don't allow them to.
Yeah.
It's like that JG Wentworth commercial. It's my money and I want it now type bullshit.
Yeah.
It's my life and I want it now. Girl, you 15 years old. You can't get it your way. And I have to constantly remind her, you may not get it when you want it, but it's always on time. You get it when you're ready for it. It'll find you. You don't have to find it. It'll find you. If you're doing the right thing, eventually it'll come to you. And all you got to do is receive it and take it in and do your best with it, right? Yeah. She curses out her mom. She curses out her dad if she don't get her way, if they don't give her what she want. There was an incident a couple weeks ago where simple request. Hey, take the dog out to the bathroom. Lost it. F you, F this, F that. I'm out. I'm running away. If you get in my way, I'm gonna slap the shit out you. I'm gonna beat your ass. Blah, blah, blah. All this other stuff. Police were called. She took off running. Police called her, tackled her down, put her in cuffs, and arrested her. And they charged her at 14 for evading and resisting. Right?
Life's not even moving yet, and that's a hard way to start shit.
But here's the kicker, Josh. Her 9-year-old brother followed her. If Sissy can do it, why can't I do it? And I've told her that. He's watching you. He's emulating what you do. And you ain't caught on to it yet. I said, you're slowly destroying yourself, your brother, and you're killing your parents slowly. They love you, but you're killing them. Did her thing for like a week in a behavioral health facility. Picked her up. She was supposed to go with her dad. She told her dad, no, not going. He called me and said she ran into the kitchen, grabbed a kitchen knife, and tried to run to her room. He caught her just in time and had to wrestle the knife away from her. He was petting when he called me. I said, have you called 911? He goes, yeah, they here. And I could hear the cops in the background. They arrested her again. Now she's in a longer term behavioral health facility, an hour and 40 minutes away. And Dad was like, I went to go see her. She cussed me out. He was like, within 10 minutes, I left. He goes, I'm not going back until she's ready to talk to me. Like she got some sense. Which I told him, you have to do that. You got to set, I'm going to use this word that people don't hear about a lot and we don't use a lot. Boundaries.
Say that shit again, man.
Boundaries. You can love somebody and still have boundaries. You got to set boundaries. I'm sorry.
Dude, I cannot tell you how frequently I discuss boundaries with my clients. Here's something I've learned. Our generation we weren't allowed to have boundaries when we were
No.
growing up. That was not a thing. It was the generation coming after us. Well, and for me, younger millennials,
Mm-hmm.
those folks had it figured out.
Yeah.
We had
Oh,
to take a book out or a page out of their book, right? We need to learn how to set healthy boundaries for ourselves, for our families, and we need to learn how to stick to our own freaking boundaries.
stick to your guns. Stick to your boundaries. You know, there are times where I have my moments. If I come to my basement and it's pitch black down here, I can hear my wife come down and she'll open the door and she'll see that there's no lights on, the TV's not on, and she don't hear me snoring. She knows, okay, he needs to be by himself. I can hear the door close. I hear her walking back upstairs. It's as if she know, okay, he going through it. He set his boundaries, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
respect that. He'll come up when he ready. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
it's it is crazy, man. People don't know how to set boundaries. People don't know how to respond when you have set said boundaries because people think, I don't care. I'm still gonna go in their bubble up in their space. No, 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 no. Stay out of it.
No.
Back up. Because if you pop my bubble, I'm gonna pop your face. I need you to back
Yeah.
up. Or I'm going to say something to you that you don't want to hear, and I probably didn't mean to say it. So there's my line. Don't cross it. Leave it alone. When I'm ready to talk, I'll talk.
I think this is a really good segue into the relational impact,
Mm-hmm.
right? How long have you been? Your wife's name is Carmen, yeah? How long have you guys been together?
We've been together, man. Our son is 21. Yeah,
Ah, dang, man.
21 years. Matter of fact, I met my wife in Korea. She was in the Army.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. Yep. When you came to Korea and got in process in, 9 times out of 10, it was my wife that in processed you into Korea at 8th
Really?
Army. Mm-hmm.
She was part of 8th First Com or
Yep,
something?
she sure was.
Hmm.
She was a 42 Alpha, so she probably was the one that in processed you into Korea.
No shit.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it's crazy. She made me chase her ass for a fucking year. That's where the 21 come from. We were together for a year before I proposed. We've
Okay.
been married ever since. She got out and got her degree at UTEP. When I was stationed at Bliss, she was in school. When I was deployed, she was in school trying to raise 2 kids. Her parents helped us because they lived in El Paso. Um, yeah, she followed me for the last 17 years of my career.
Wow.
And I think we celebrate 22 years September 5th.
Congrats, man.
And we got 17-year-old. I got 17-year-old daughter, bro.
Dude,
She graduated high
my
school.
girls.
She graduated high school in a couple of weeks.
How old does that make you feel?
Hmm?
How old does that make you feel?
Old. Granted, I'm only 46.
Yeah.
But to know that my kids are succeeding in life, That's the best feeling ever, man. Son's in the Air Force doing his thing. She's going to do college for a year. And then she's going to go try out for Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders because she's been a competitive dancer since she was 3.
Man, I'll tell you, it's been fun watching her progress through all that too. Like,
It's crazy.
she is so talented.
Thank you. It's crazy to watch her. And it's like, oh my God. And you know, I tell people, okay, funny story. They were on spring break last week. Where I work, they don't do spring break because we get Mondays off. So we only do a 4-day school week. So Friday, she went to work with me and stayed with me all day. And I'm normally standing right outside of the halls during passing time. And she was standing with me. And this one girl walked by and mean mugged the shit out of me. And my daughter said, wait a minute, why she look at you like that? And I said, well, I've caught her skipping class a couple of times, and I've had to escort her to either back to class or I've escorted her to the office and she's gotten in trouble for it. And she was like, that ain't your problem, that's her problem. I said, well, they think it's my problem. She goes, oh no, that's their problem, not yours. I said, well, you're a 17-year-old kid, you're in high school. I'm just telling you how y'all think. She goes, okay, got it. We saw that girl at the end of the day walking down the hallway by herself. Jaylene said, excuse me. The girl was like, yeah. She goes, don't ever look at my dad like that again. She goes, have some respect. Don't ever look at him like that again. Did you hear me? The girl said, okay, I'm sorry. It'll never happen again. And kept walking. Dude, I went, oh shit. And walked. And I tell people, and people don't believe me. I said, she me, just a girl. I say, but she's 10 times worse than I am or than I ever was. That girl got me beat. I said, there's some times where she argued with me. I don't even say a damn word back. I'd be like, yeah, okay, you got it. My relationship, man, with my kids is so good that they know where I'm coming from. It wasn't always like that. But as they got older, they've started to see what I'm talking about. And they're like, okay, dad may be on to something. You know, my son, he called me all the time, Dad, I got this, and this going on. I need your help. I said, okay, son, what's up? Let's figure it out. I tell him, he'd be like, okay, got it. I'll do it. Bet. He call me back, Dad, it worked. I know. Said, thank you, Dad. You're welcome. You know, or my daughter, she'll come to me before she go to my wife.
Mm.
And I ask, why you come to me? Why you ain't gonna talk to your mama? Because mom is gonna judge me. Mom is gonna ridicule. And I just don't want to hear it. She goes, I come to you because you think about it before you answer it. And you give me the truth. You don't mess with it. You don't play around with it. She goes, I much rather come to you because you're going to tell me how it is and not how I want it to be. I said, okay, not a problem. I said, I don't know what to tell you. She was like, that's why I come to you. I said, okay. So my relationship with my kids are good. My wife, on the other hand, it gets rocky sometimes, depending on the moment, depending
Yeah.
on what's going on. You married, so you know what it's like to not agree with your spouse and tell them why you don't agree, and they just throw not a tantrum, but it's a whole another separate conversation about something else. I love my wife, and I can't deny. Even when we do the dance competitions and I'm talking to the other parents or they come talk to me, I could be sitting down in the hotel just chilling, and here come a whole bunch of dads with their wives, and I'm like, all right, what the fuck is going on right now? I'm like, the fuck, you know, and we'll get to talking, and my wife will see me, and she'd be like, oh shit, he probably drunk. He don't know what the fuck he talking about. He over there just saying shit, you know. And the next day, the wives that come up to me and be like, hey, thank you. For what? It was like, you said something last night that hit home. And I think we needed to hear that. And they'll tell my wife. And she's like, I don't know what you're doing to these people. She goes, but for some strange reason, they like you. I said, when you tell people how it is and not how it should be, it goes a long way. You know, and that's why now a lot of them are like, hey, you need to put something out on your podcast. I'm just coming. I'm like, it's coming. God damn it. Shit. Stop. It's coming.
You know, it's funny because it took me a little bit to get on with the podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was on paper for a long time. One of my friends said, you just need to say fuck it and record an episode. Look at this, dude.
Double-sided.
Martinez,
Double-sided.
you just need to say fuck it and record an episode, bro.
And just do it, right? Like in this,
that's it, man.
In this stack of double-sided papers, I have episode 0, which is the introduction to it. I have it. It's right here. It's just
need to record that.
It's just my
dude.
black ass doing it.
But you need to just do it.
Like Nike, right? Just fucking do it. It's right here.
100%.
So, I'm off tomorrow. So I got all day. Literally, I don't have all day. I'm going to give myself 1 hour. And I'm going to start tonight. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to highlight. Because my episode 0 is only 8 to 10 minutes. And it's the introduction to what I'm going to be speaking on. And my mission, my philosophy, and what we're going to do. I think right now my biggest concern that I'm trying to figure out are my graphics. I think once I get my graphics down, I'll be good. But then one of my other homeboys, he was like, don't worry about the graphics. Just fucking do it and worry about your graphics later.
Yep.
I'm like,
and that's it.
I'm like, well, shit. Let me get something done. Let me get episode 0 knocked out. Let me start sending emails out to potential guests and see if they want to do it. And then we go from there. Oh, and don't worry. Your name on the fucking list.
I'm here for it, bro.
You're in the top 10.
I'm here for it.
So my first season, you're on the list.
I'm honored, but I'm absolutely here for it.
We're gonna laugh, we're gonna talk, we're gonna chop it up, we're gonna do it all, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we gotta keep it real.
keeping it real. We ain't sugarcoating nothing. We gonna keep this thing as good as we can get it, right?
Yeah.
So we talked about marriage and family. Let's talk about these friends.
Yeah, man.
Let's talk about these motherfucking friends. Okay. I have a friend here, man, and I've known this dude for over 20 years. And he's a retired master sergeant. When we get together, it's like it's nonstop laughter. It's jokes. It's sometimes it turns into serious topics, serious conversations, like it did last night on my old soldiers podcast, his TikTok live. It got real again to where there were people on the live that were like, y'all got us over here crying. And we're not talking about crying or laughter. We're crying because what you're saying, it makes sense. It's hitting us in the feelings, and it got to the point to where one lady said, y'all are funny. She goes, but y'all are also real. And I said, it's like Bad Boys. He's Martin and I'm Will Smith. And she said, I was just thinking that, and then he blurted out, he goes, sometimes it's the reverse, depending on the day. And somebody said, oh, we can see it. We can see, because both y'all are hilarious, just talking and whatever. So he told his story last night when I was stationed here before the MEPS. We were in church. And something this lady said, I think she had lost her son. She had lost a kid. And she was singing. And she talked about her losing her kid. And I'm standing next to him. And he just started bawling in church. And his wife was like 4 people down. I don't know why or how she was so far away. And he told people how when we were standing next to each other, she was like, he said, he ain't asked no questions. He ain't asked if I was okay. He goes, that motherfucker grabbed me and he hugged me. And he goes, and I told him when I hugged him, I said, hey man, it's all right. Whatever you got going on, it's going to be okay. Because we here for each other. And that's one thing that you don't see as men. It's another thing to see it in 2 African-American men where you can hug each other and no one assumes that you're gay. You know what I mean? And just talking to him when all of that shit was happening in church and us embracing and hugging him and just letting him, hey man, let it out, man. You deserve to be able to let these feelings out. Don't bottle it up. It does us no good. It doesn't help.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, Middle East. It don't matter. Feelings are feelings, and they hit everybody the same way, depending on how you take it. And we got to be able to find a healthy outlet to let them out.
Yeah.
And I know you've seen it as a therapist with people in your office, probably sitting in that chair, and they're looking at you like, And then you say something, and it hit them right in the feelings. And all of a sudden, Niagara Falls come out, and motherfuckers need Kleenexes to clean their nose.
Yeah.
So it all depends, man. It depends on the people, the person, and then it goes from there.
Yeah. What do you think your outlook or how do you think your outlook on society has changed through the lens of all the trauma that you've had?
I'm in a mindset now to where it's fuck it. And I say that because those traumas shaped me. Those fears molded me. That drama is what built me. Right? And all of that combined is what you see today. Am I the smartest? Hell no. Am I the wisest? No. But I got a little wisdom. Do I still hurt time to time? Absolutely. Do I still feel? All the time. Am I lost? Not as much as I used to be. But I'm still trying to find my way. And it's okay. You're never really going to figure it out. And by the time you do figure it out, they're getting ready to throw dirt on your casket.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
All these people that say they got it figured out, ask them just say one thing to them. Show me. And I guarantee you'll be surprised because they don't.
Mm.
That's it. Show me.
Yeah. I think everybody's at some level of fake it till you make it, right?
Mm-hmm. Of course. Of course. Failure isn't the end. Sometimes failure is the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
And we have to understand that giving up and quitting is failure.
That's the only failure.
I've never met a successful person that has never failed. Learning is in failing. That's how you
Absolutely.
learn. That's how you cope. That's how you deal.
Yep. Failure is just an opportunity for learning.
That's it. It's an opportunity for growth.
Yes.
We gotta learn that. We gotta understand it. We gotta know it. You gotta build it. Like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not building it, nobody's gonna show up.
Yeah.
That's just it. Right?
Yep. And I think it's tough in society right now.
Yeah. Of course.
Social media.
Man, I'm telling you, in 5 to 10 years, if you look into DSM-4, there's going to be a new diagnosis for social media addiction. If it's not already there.
Well, we're already on DSM-5. But
even better.
Let me pull it up.
Even
I don't know
better.
if it's there quite yet.
Because it's going to be a new addiction. It's going to be a new behavioral health problem.
Yeah.
And you know what I call that shit? Social media brain.
Ooh. Yeah, I think, social media can really fall into the group of like substance related disorders, right?
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. You know?
It's all the same shit, man.
Yeah. It's always all
Just a
the same
different
shit.
avenue to dopamine.
You know?
Yeah. So
That's
what would you say was the turning
crazy
point for
part.
you?
Man, I think the turning point for me was that's a tough question, man. 'Cause I've had several turning points. It's not just
Yeah.
one. I mean, if somebody tell you they've only had one turning point in life, they're lying to you. The turning point for me, man, was watching my kids grow up. Watching my son go from playing basketball, baseball, soccer, to deciding to stick with just soccer and making his high school team his senior year, to going into college, studying aerospace engineering, realizing, hey, I just want to join the Air Force and work with my hands. I'll go back and get my degree. Watching him make his own decisions as a man. And not just owning up to them decisions, living with them. Living with the decisions he's made and not looking back. And watching my daughter go from the newborn that wrapped her hand around my finger the day she was born, looking into my eyes and saying to myself then when she looked into my eyes, I'm fucked. And not that I'm fucked in a bad way, but I'm fucked because I looked into her eyes and she hypnotized the shit out of me. And loving my daughter and always being there for my kids, man. Watching my daughter start dance at 3. Now she's 17 in her last year of dance. Watching her grow from an infant to a toddler, to an adolescent, to a young woman. And watching her grow physically and mentally. And seeing that she don't take no BS from no one. She can tell you where to go, how to go, and where you can shove it. And she do it so tactfully, so respectfully. It blows my mind. And when she say it, people don't get it. Because she don't use bad language. She don't yell. She says so calm. And to watch her go through the mean girl stage, not her being a mean girl, but people doing it to her. And watching her tell people without her saying it, you can go fuck yourself. I'm good. I don't need you. I don't want you around me. Watching my kids grow in that aspect in their lives and knowing that I could have never done that at their age because I didn't have the know-how. I didn't have that, not just the intestinal fortitude, but as a man, I didn't have that testicular fortitude
Mm.
to do it. But watching my kids do it, I just say to myself, and I thank God that I think I did something right raising my kids. I was tough on them. I was hard on them. But I can honestly say I have two of the most resilient kids you ever meet. And that goes from going from duty station to duty station to duty station. You know, my son went to 4 different high schools before he graduated.
Damn. That's a lot.
He started out at Yelm High School in Fort Lewis. He did his freshman year. Okay. And then he went to, was it 4 or 3? Maybe 3 different high schools. Then he went to, it was 3, Junction City High School. He did his sophomore and junior year at Junction City High School. And then he did his senior year at Liberty North High School here. That dude graduated with a 3.8 GPA.
Good for him.
Could have went wherever he wanted to go to college, but he chose Missouri S&T for aerospace engineering. My daughter will graduate with a 3.7 GPA. And it's because I kept my foot in their ass when it came to academics. I never allowed either one of them to work while they was in high school. Nope. Your goal and your focus is your sport and your grades. Don't worry about money. Daddy got you. All you gotta do is ask. And that was it. That was my turning point, was watching my kids grow up into adults and watching them go through their trials and tribulations and how they got over them, how they got through them, and how it made them better people. That's it.
You know, it's funny because as a dad, I've learned so much from my kids, right? My girls are 12 and 13.
You got
My
double the trouble.
13-year-old, dude. Yeah. My 13-year-old wants to be a pediatric cardiologist. She's in 8th grade. She signed up for all AP classes. She's saying she's got 15 years of college after she graduates high school. And you knew me. I did not have the drive to do that kind of thing, right? Like I couldn't commit to that. She is 13 and she's already there.
Yeah. My daughter wants to be a criminal psychologist. She wants to get into the minds of serial killers and prisoners. And she wants to know how they think, what makes them tick. I said, girl, that's a lot of school.
Mm-hmm.
On top of being a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, that's a lot of school. She goes, Dad, I got it. I got your drive. I said, okay. Do you, boo-boo?
Yeah. I have a friend who said she'd actually be on the show at some point.
Mm-hmm.
She is a psychologist at a federal penitentiary. I'd be more than happy to put Jaylene in touch with her at some point.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
As I said, that's a long road, but you got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
I'm certain Shannon would jump on that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll get her on here. You
I
tell
hope
me
that.
when.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, what would you say your road to healing has looked like?
Mm, one was learning who I am as a person. Man, you got to know who you are. And I say that because if you don't know who you are as a person, you're still lost. And like a snake, you got to shed that old skin for some new skin if you're trying to change for the better. You got to get rid of the old you in order to become the new you. Can't do both. It don't work. They
What
don't.
was that process like for you?
It was a long process. It was a lot of second guessing. It was a lot of studying me. It was a lot of studying and watching other people. And you know what the biggest takeaway was? Is watching how people respond to you and how they react around you, how they act around you. That's what it was. Because you're not everybody's cup of tea. Some people like their tea cold. Some like it sweet. Some like it hot. And some like it unsweet. You got to figure out what kind of tea you are. Then you'll figure out who you are as a person.
So, what kind of tea is Martinez Vandergrift?
Martinez is Southern sweet tea. Another thing about Martinez's tea, it don't sugarcoat nothing. And it sure as shit don't beat around the bush. Cheers.
Hell yeah.
You got to be able to know how to tell people no. Because if you don't, oh my God, they'll take advantage of you every chance they get.
How long did it take you to learn that?
Bro, forever. Forever.
You're still learning, aren't you?
Always, man. Life is a learning game. Like I told you earlier, the moment you think you got it figured out is the moment they putting dirt on your casket.
Yep.
You'll never have it figured out. Stop thinking you will and stop thinking you already do, because you don't. That's just it.
I think that's important to remember too in the way we deal with other people.
That's it.
We're all
Learn.
just people trying to figure shit out.
Yes. Learn other people. Learn their mannerisms. Learn their voice. Learn their feelings. Because if you don't, man, they're trying to use that shit against you. and make you feel like you the one that did them wrong.
Right.
But when you start thinking about it, you be like, wait a minute. I didn't even do nothing. What are you talking about? How many times have you went through that in your life?
Too many.
But they try to make you feel like you did them dirty. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I didn't throw no mud on you. That was you. You did it to yourself.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And it took a long time to figure out when that shit was happening.
Well, yeah.
Martinez, what
So what's next? What we
would
got?
you say is your best advice to someone? Dude, I think we're at about the final words, man.
Man, my best advice to somebody? Bro. So my thing is, what I want to tell you is find your voice. Number one. Know who you are as a person. Understand what you're willing to accept, because what you accept is what you will allow. And what you allow is what people will do to you. Okay? Your feelings are emotions. Your emotions have no intellect. They don't think. They don't speak. They don't hear. They're just that. They're feelings. They feel. And that's it. Go back, and as childish as it may seem, go back and watch that Disney movie, Inside Out, and watch how all those emotions react, respond, and communicate with one another. Believe it or not, that movie makes a lot of sense. Because inside of us, we have those same emotions. And with those emotions come communication, reaction, and response. Decide which emotion you want to speak for you. Decide which emotion you want to show people. And I guarantee you, they're the same. They're not any different. At the end of the day, know that you're in control of your emotions. If you allow your emotions to take over, they'll control you. But if you control them, it lets them know that you're in charge. And that's it. Control your emotions, or they'll control you. And that's all I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Be better for it and be ready for it. Because if you stay ready, you never have to get ready.
What would you say your outlook and hope for the future is?
My outlook and hope for the future is bright. It's real bright, man. One, in my old age,
Oh, Lord.
watching my kids grow as adults, watching them thrive and survive, not just survive. To have my kids to be better than me and to leave a legacy for them to stand on and for them to take with them. One, if they get married, to if they decide to have kids. Again, that's their decision, not mine. I'm happy with being a grandfather to dogs. Trust me. Because our society right now is so fucked up. I wouldn't dare bring my grandchild into a place, in a space where they're not welcome. Right? My hope for the future, it's like Michael Jackson said, am I looking at the man in the mirror? When you look in the mirror, what or who do you see? Do you see someone that's living a life of positivity? Someone that's trying to make the world better than what they found it? Are you that negative Nancy that never get what you think you deserve, or you never get what you think you want, and you just destroy the people around you because that's what you can do? Ladies and gentlemen, the world isn't about what you want. It's about what you need.
Mm.
And right now, we need love. We need positivity. We need caring, communication, where we connect and understand what we don't know and what we like, but we don't understand. Oh,
That's it, man.
food for thought.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, man. How many problems in this world could be solved with a good meal and maybe a glass or two of an adult beverage, you
Man,
know?
look, let's talk about it. Not only are we going to talk about it, let's connect
Yeah.
and let's understand what we don't know, and let's like what we don't understand. That's how we'll survive. It's how we'll thrive. And it's definitely how we can move forward in life.
Yeah. Man, I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed this, dude.
Me too.
This has been so much fun.
You
Way
look,
too long.
you got about 3 hours of material to go back and edit.
It's going to take me all day tomorrow.
Hey, look, it's all that's okay with me. You just let
Yeah.
me know when you gonna post it, and when you post it, make sure you put it on my Facebook.
Of course. And before we go, like, you've got your podcast coming soon.
Yeah.
Straight with no chaser, is that correct?
Straight with no chaser. Yeah, if you are, man, where is my phone? I threw it on the floor because it kept vibrating.
Yeah.
So if you are interested, my Facebook page for my podcast is called Straight with No Chaser Podcast. That's on Facebook. And my IG is also called, I gotta look it up, man. I'm old. I don't remember stuff. It is Straight with No Chaser Podcast on Instagram. I'm still trying to set up my Straight with No Chaser podcast for my TikTok. Once I get that done, please go like, subscribe, follow. I want to put out a lot of meaningful, insightful information and I want to try to do a live probably once a week, maybe on a Thursday night when people are finished eating their dinner, your supper, if you're from the South where I'm from. Um, and we're going to talk about some stuff. We want to put it out there and get people thinking, get some brains going, and, you know, let's talk about it. You know,
Yeah.
what do you want to talk about? You tell me and we'll talk about it.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing you get that up and going.
Yes, sir.
And I'm
Remember,
going to put links in.
you're on my guest list. My goal is to do 10 episode seasons. If I have to do 12 episode seasons, I will. At this point, it's whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I'm still in the phase where I'm trying to figure that out because I ended up having to take like a month hiatus because I ran out of content. People are busy and trying to get stuff scheduled is kind of a challenge sometimes. And, it is what it is. It's part of the learning curve. And, hopefully have the second half of the first season out, sometime in May and take the summer off and then come back for season 2 in the fall.
Yeah. Let's get it, man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's build yours. Let's build mine and anybody else that come along that want to do it. Let's show them, well, hey, it's easy. This is what you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a couple coming up that I'm pretty excited about. So,
okay. I'm not trying to make money. I'm just trying to put a message out.
Yep.
That's it.
Same. That said, though, I mean, if somebody sees this and they think they need some therapy,
yeah. If you need some therapy, I'm sure he does it on Zoom. I know he does it in person. If you in the Michigan area, and you need some therapy, you need to reach out to my man Josh Campbell. He is a licensed clinical therapist. And he will be able to trust me, y'all. I've known this young man for a long time. And I would guarantee you, and I'm trying not to cry right now because I'm getting emotional and I feel the water welling up in my eyes. And no shit. I've watched this young man grow. I'm so proud of him. He has made strides not only in his life, but in his career. I watched him as a young private. And I say young, realizing that him and I are the same age.
Pretty close.
Pretty close, right? Like, I watched this young man in Korea. I watched him make mistakes. I watched him own up to it. I watched him mentor his friends, his peers. This young man can have a conversation with anybody. He can connect with anybody. And I'm just telling you, I trust this man with my life. I do. And if I ever need therapy, I know I can reach out. If I need somebody to talk to, I can reach out to him. Matter of fact, he about to get my phone number if he ain't already got it. When we get off this,
that I do, but
when we get off this live, he about to get it. I love him like he was my own brother.
I love you too, man.
And
it's been far too long.
It's been way too long. We need to do another one with you, William, and I. And just, look, it won't be no format. It'll just be laughter on this motherfucker.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I want to do for like live streams.
We got to do it, man. And if not on yours, we can do it on mine.
Yeah.
And when I send you my number after this, you need to make sure William got it.
Yeah, we'll do.
I used to follow him on Facebook. I think he got off.
Yeah, he's not on social media super
Yeah,
frequently.
I don't see nothing. But you
I'm
two young
sending him a
men,
text right now.
huh?
I'm gonna send him a text right now.
You two young men saved my life and career. And I want y'all to know that.
Dude, I appreciate that, man. I'm glad we could be there for you.
Those conversations we had, man, y'all, fuck. You motherfuckers saved my life, man. Because I was going through a rough period in my life that people don't understand. That meeting you and William, man, y'all fucking made my life enjoyable again. Coming from the bullshit I had to go through in Afghanistan and Iraq and not being able to talk to nobody, and meeting you two and seeing how y'all bonded and how your relationship was, and you two being, both of y'all being from Michigan, and it made a world of difference to me. And I can't thank y'all enough, because there were some points in Korea I wanted to end my life. But having you two as my soldiers, it fucking made a world of difference to me. And it made me want to live again. Those conversations you and I had fucking made me better. It made me bigger. And it made me think. And I want to tell you, man, I love you, man. You've grown.
Love you too, dude.
And you've made a huge difference, not just in my life, but I guarantee you in a lot of people's lives, man. You've made a huge difference, man.
Look, man, I'm so happy that you're able to overcome all that shit. And to think that I had a hand in that and the way you continued to pour into the lives of other people is just such a huge, huge gift and an honor. So thank you.
Thank you, man. You make sure you hug your wife and your daughters, man. Because they make us better. Whether we believe it or not, they make us better.
For sure.
Don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. If I gotta fucking fly to Detroit, motherfucker, I'll be there.
Dude, let's do it.
I'm thinking about coming up there anyway. Cause you know what's crazy, bro? Is that I was up there in 24 for a public health conference.
Mm.
And I stayed at the Foundation Hotel in Detroit. And I forgot that you were from Michigan, and I should have fucking reached out to you when I was up there for a week.
Shit.
I
would
was
have been there for sure.
Bro, listen, I was right across the river from the Canadian, I could see Canada from where I was staying at I don't remember the convention center, but it was fucking huge.
Yeah.
And me and some of my friends got on that damn train in the transportation system in Detroit and went to some places where the lady made peach pies. Some store. I forgot the name of it. But man, I said, fuck, I'm up here and I forgot you were from that area, and I should have reached out to you. But I'm gonna tell you what, I want to take my wife back up there because I enjoyed Detroit so much because where we was at, it was so clean. The people were nice.
Detroit is a beautiful place.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you where I was at. Where we was staying, GM headquarters was right across the fucking street.
Okay.
That's where we were staying. The Foundation Hotel is an old, I think, firehouse that they turned into a hotel. And
I'm from the other side of the state, so I'm not super familiar with Detroit,
Yeah.
but it is an incredible city.
it is. I loved it. I enjoyed it. You know, if I would have brought my passport, which I should have, 'cause some of my friends brought theirs and they were in Canada the next, like in the morning, drinking coffee in Canada. I said, motherfucker, really? They're like, we didn't know you had a passport. What the fuck? What? Really? Yeah, I got a passport.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually got an enhanced driver's license, so I can just like go across the border when I want.
Yeah, like, so when I'm in Detroit, man, I'm gonna hit you up. We gonna hit William up and we gonna fucking meet up. We got to.
Yeah, man. He lives real close to Detroit,
It's
so
been far too long, man.
yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna send you my number right now.
Sounds good, man. This has been such a pleasure, dude.
I didn't mean to cry at the end, but shit.
Strong man gotta cry, dude. You know that.
Man,
I love you, bro.
I love you
This
too,
is
man.
So good.
Tell your wife, your daughters, I said hi.
Will do.
I've known you
You too,
way
man.
too long, man.
I know your wife and kids don't know who I am, but as creepy as it sounds, I've been watching, all right? Like, no, you've got a beautiful family. And
Thanks, man. So do you, man. I'm watching you too. Just trust me, I'm
it's
watching
been
you too.
amazing watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, I think that does it for this episode.
Yes, sir.
If y'all like what you see, heard, whatever, like, share, and subscribe, and look for more amazing stuff to come from Martinez Vandergrift on his podcast.
Thank you.
That's it. All right. Dude, I don't know what happened though, because like I've usually got a pretty good head on my shoulders and reasonable judgment.
Yeah.
But that was not one of those times.
It was that juice. That juice will get
It
you
was
loose.
that juice. It got me loose, all right. Maybe a couple teeth too. I don't know.
Like, wop, wop. She gave you that 2 piece. Like, damn.